Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. Kannywood actress Rahama Sauda has been appointed by the office of the Vice President Kashim Shettima. She is to serve on the technical committee of the Investment in Digital and Creative Enterprise Program, IDIS. Rahama and other appointees were inaugurated into the committee by Vice President Shettima. The technical committee on the IDIS program is chaired by the Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Office of the Vice President, Dr. Kolade Faswa. The House of Representatives has extended the resumption of plenary from April 16 to 23, 2024 to allow for the completion of the ongoing renovations in the chamber. Clerk of the House, Dr. Yahya Danzaria, who announced this, says extension is to allow for the completion of renovations to the Green Chamber for its readiness for plenary sessions henceforth. The House had a joint plenary on March 20th to April 16th to apparently enable members participate in the Easter and Ramadan festivities. The Benue State Independent Electoral Commission on Friday announced that elections would be conducted into the councils of 23 local government areas of the state on July 6, 2024. Chairman Dr. John Chen, who alongside his team were inaugurated into office by Governor Hyacinth Alia on March 29, 2024, made the disclosure during a stakeholders meeting held in Makurdi, the state capital, to unveil action plans as well as activities lined up towards the exercise. Chen says the elections would be conducted for chairmen and councillors into local government councils and council wards, including the expected newly created council wards in the state. He says the move followed the governor's charge that the commission should quickly swing into action and kickstart the processes and procedures aimed at conducting free, fair, and credible elections in the state. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has debunked a purported list of caretaker committee members circulating on social media and published in some national dailies. The Rivers State Governor, Simi Fubara, who reviewed this after a meeting with the NWC at the National Secretariat, Wadata Plaza in Abuja, restated that the resolutions of a meeting held between the NWC and the members of the Board of Trustees and the PDP Governors Forum in Abuja in March on the issue remain valid. Governor Fubara emphasized that the party stands on the agreement reached on the issue as encapsulated in the letter by the NWC to the state chairman of the PDP dated March 27th, adding that no amount of intimidation, clandestine moves, wasteful lobbying, and needless expenditure of public funds will change the position already taken. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, has expressed concern over the overcrowded Medium Custodial Center in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State Capital. FIDA described a situation where a prison facility originally designed for 600 inmates but has exceeded its capacity to 1,715 as an invitation to humanitarian crisis if not urgently addressed. The state's branch president, Barrister Ikwo Abia, in collaboration with the Medical Women Association of Nigeria and the Youth Alive Foundation, gathered toward the prison facility and took time off to engage the inmates, especially the women convicts. The FIDA leader, who decried the condition and welfare of the inmates, frowned at the conjecture and assured that her group was ready to cooperate with the prison authorities with a view to decongesting the facility to avoid humanitarian tragedy. In order to further strengthen the reporting system of discrimination against the persons with disabilities at airports, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in partnership with the Center for Ability, Rehabilitation and Empowerment, is establishing disability desks to address issues of discrimination emanating from air travels. Fauzia Lukman has details.
The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities have approved the deployment of its commission staff for disability desks at local and international airports across the country for easier access to persons with disabilities, while handing over some assistance devices and operational guidelines of aviation accessibility project for persons with disabilities. Founder of the Center for Ability, Rehabilitation and Empowerment, Dr. Chike Okogu, appealed to the federal government to establish service desks in all local and international airports, as well as increasing the budgetary allocation for the Commission.
Beyond this project, funding is important for the lives of persons with disabilities. Please, Mr. President, we are begging. We persons with disabilities are not beggars, but we are now saying, we're using the word, please, sir, in the midterm budgetary allocation, can we have at least 1 trillion naira for persons with disabilities? Yes, it is international standards.
Dr. James Lalu, the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in his response, expressed commitment to deploy manpower that would ensure sustainability of the project.
Based on the powers vested in us to protect the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities, we are going to dig deeper with KFC to find out the root cause of this problem, and we must review all their policies and make sure that they align with the provisions of the law and the regulations that are here in Nigeria for the protection of the rights of persons with disabilities. Today, we are taking over a project by CHEERS where we made the initial commitment for the sustainability of this project. The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities will deploy our personnel into the Nigeria airport to provide the necessary support for persons with disabilities.
The ES further appealed to the airport authority to secure an appropriate space where its staff can train to provide support for easy movement of persons with disability. Fauzia Lukman, Global TV News.
The impeachment investigation panel probing alleged gross misconduct against the Edo State Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Philip Shaibu, has fixed Friday for its final adjournment for Shaibu to defend himself. The head of a 7-man panel set up to investigate the allegations, Justice Stephen Omonuwa, retired, took the decision when it resumed its sitting on Thursday, and the Deputy Governor and his counsel were absent. Omonuwa, retired, said that the panel would wait to see if the defendant would open his defense and thereafter called for the defendant. But Shaibu was absent and was not represented. The Edo State House of Assembly initiated the impeachment process. President Bola Tinubu has pledged his support for the proposal for the direct election of members into the Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The chairman of ECOWAS stated this when he swore in 97 members into the 6th ECOWAS Parliament at the International Conference Center in Abuja. The Parliament is composed of 115 seats. Each member state has a guaranteed minimum of 5 seats, while the remaining 40 seats are shared based on population. They include 35 members from Nigeria and 5 each from Benin Republic, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Togo. Others include 8 members from Ghana, 7 from Cote d'Ivoire, 6 each from Senegal and Guinea. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have representatives in the 6th Parliament, as these states have expressed their intention to exit the bloc. You're watching News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTime, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, NEC slams a 200 million naira fine on AEDC over violation direct refunds to consumers. These and other stories coming right after this break. To stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, rail services were hit in the large part of the UK, including key tourist routes, as train drivers launched a new strike amid cost of living pressures and decades-high inflation. Members of the ASLEF union representing train drivers are taking part in a 3-day rolling strike, which will also affect express services to London's Gatwick, Stansted and the Heathrow Airport. Union Chief Mika Whelan blamed the industrial action on the cost of living crisis created by the economic ineptitude of the tourist conservatives that have been in power for 14 years. ASLEF Chief Whelan, speaking in front of striking drivers at the London's Euston station, said that offer from last April would never be accepted by members, describing it as ridiculous and a land grab for all the terms and conditions they have negotiated over the years. Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio says the drug abuse in the country was a national emergency, outlining plans to combat a systemic drug popular with young people. A task force, including government agencies and NGOs, would be responsible for prevention, treatment, social services, support, law enforcement, and community engagement. Bio also says his government was working to take down drug trafficking networks. In business, the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NAODA, has distributed essential agricultural inputs to farmers in Abia, Kebbi, and Yobe states. The initiative is part of broader efforts to advance the federal government's food security agenda and assist farmers nationwide in maximizing crop cultivation, thereby improving yields and bolstering food production. The empowerment program has seen the distribution of fertilizers, herbicides, and improved seeds such as maize to farmers in Abia and Yobe, and rice to those in Kebbi, which are expected to cover half a hectare farmland for each farmer. The distribution event in Abia was held at the NAODA Institute of Agribusiness and Entrepreneurship, where beneficiaries from all local governments, including those nominated by state government and various farmers associations, received their packages. Executive Secretary of NAODA, Prince Paul Ikone, who led the distribution, emphasized the program's importance and assured of continued support to the farmers. The scheduled arraignment of Binance Holdings Limited and 2 of its executives for alleged tax evasion was stalled over the complaint that one of the executives had not been served with the charge sheet. Counsel for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, which is prosecuting the case, Moses Ide, told the court that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission denied the court belief access to the detained Binance executive. The 2 executives charged alongside the firm are Tigrana Gambayan and Nadim Ajawala, who escaped from the custody of the National Security Advisor and is currently on the run. The FIRS lawyer, Ide, says the bailiff was unable to serve the charge sheet on Gabayan, who was in custody of the EFCC. He therefore made an oral application to serve the charge sheet on Gabayan in the courtroom through his lawyer, Chukwuka Ikwazo SAN. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) has slammed a fine of 200 million naira on the Abuja Electricity Distribution PLC over the DISCO's non-compliance with the supplementary order to the April 2024 multi-year tariff order 2024 for power distribution companies, DISCOs. NEC disclosed this enforcement action against AEDC in a letter to its acting managing director, Victor Ojelabi, dated April 5, 2024. According to the letter, AEDC was fined for the flagrant breach of the Commission's order for failing to comply with the prescribed customer band classification for the tariff billing. The Commission said this decision followed a detailed review and customer feedback, which revealed that the AEDC had applied the new tariff of 225 naira per kilowatt hour to all customer bands, contrary to the order, which was designed to ensure fair billing practices. The Commission also mandated the AEDC to reimburse through the provision of the balance of the customer tokens that the affected customers would be entitled to receive at the applicable rates, and all token reimbursements shall be issued to the affected customers by April 11, 2024. The DISCO is also required to pay the 200 million naira fine and file evidence of compliance with the directives with the Commission by April 12, 2024. NEC said this action underscored its commitment to protecting consumer rights and ensuring equitable practices within Nigeria's electricity sector. Some communities in Abuja, Lagos, and Nasarawa are currently experiencing power outage due to technical glitches. The Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company on Tuesday said the service disruption was due to significant load restrictions across many of its transmission load centers. According to the power distribution firm, the transmission stations affected include Oworo, Maryland, Iteri, Isolo, Ogba, Alausa, Ejibo, Alimosho, and others. In the same vein, the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company informed its customers in Nasarawa that they were in darkness after windstorms brought down transmission lines. On entertainment scene, husband of popular singer Mercy Chinwo, Pastor Blessed Uzochikwa, has filed a direct criminal complaint against the 5 persons for criminal defamation through his lawyers, led by Pelumi Olagbesi Esquire. Consequently, the Chief Magistrate Court in Wuse 2 Zone 2, Abuja, has summoned 5 social media users for criminal defamation of the reputation of the gospel singer Mercy Chinwo and her husband, Blessed Uzochikwa. Mercy Chinwo's husband said the alleged act of criminal defamation was carried out through deliberate circulation of injurious falsehood, cyberbullying, and cyber-stalking. The 5 defendants are Okoronkwo Ejike, Kingsley Ibe, DJ Sports Kid, Terence Eckert, and Samuel Ogozi, and they are to appear on or before the court on April 23, 2024. In the exciting world of sports, the Kwara State Air Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has promised increased involvement in sports events as part of efforts to wage war against drug abuse and child trafficking. NDLEA's Kwara Command, Bashir Ibrahim, made the promise in a lorry when members of the state chapter of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN, paid him a courtesy visit. The commandant says the decision had become necessary because of the recent challenges faced in policing drug traffickers in the state. Speaking on the danger it poses to sports, the commandant noted that the youth were particularly vulnerable to drug abuse. The Kwara SWAN chairman Ayodeji Ismail, while speaking, said sports writers were aware of the dangers of the menace and had continued to pose to sports and youth development. After a long wait, the Super Falcons and Bayana will face off on Friday today as both countries battle for a spot in the women's football event at the 2024 Olympic Games ticket in Paris. Nigeria and South Africa, arguably the 2 best women's football squads in Africa, clash in a 2-legged affair as they battle for one of the 2 tickets from Africa for the Paris 2024 Olympics women's football event. The first of the 2 matches will take place Friday at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja, followed by the second contest Tuesday, April 9th at Pretoria, South Africa. With so much to play for, today's clash is said to be one of the most mouth-watering clashes in Africa's women's football. Speaking ahead of the game, Falcons captain Rashida Tajibade says the team was determined to put an end to the long wait. That's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thanks for watching and see you again.